So today we'll talk about the different courses. Some standard courses you already know. You already know about these standard courses such as computer science, electrical engineering. So you are already aware of those, right? So we are not going to cover those that you are already aware of. So but there are a lot of other courses that you can go for. Just because you have done your bachelor's degree in something, so you may have done your bachelor's degree in you might have done your bachelor's degree in electrical engineering or mechanical engineering. That does not mean that you have to do your master's degree also in those, right? So you can switch majors. So that is one major advantage or one major USP of the US education system. Now this program, everybody can see the screen. All of you can see the screen. It says MS Computational Finance, right? So MS Computational Finance, and it is offered in some there are some names of colleges as well, Carnegie Mellon, Purdue, etc. So and some other colleges, right? So MS Computational Finance is something where to which everybody with an engineering degree can apply. So if you have an engineering degree, or if you have a math BSc MSc math, or BSc MSc statistics, anybody with science background, anybody with engineering degrees, can attend these programs, MS Computational Finance. Now what it does is that you'll be required to have some basic knowledge about computers and programming, which you can do so by taking some basic courses while you are studying in the university. So you don't have to know hardcore programming or some lot of computer languages to apply to this course, right? What they are looking for is high aptitude and inclination for number crunching, and which engineers by default are supposed to have. So this is one good program. The kind of jobs that people end up getting are in the stock exchange, or in financial consultants, in financial consultancies as financial analysts, right? So this is a very niche course. Most of these courses that I am going to talk about today, they have been started by universities at the request of industry. So in response to industry demand, these courses have been started. So obviously their employment rates are very high. Moreover, not many people know about these programs, so the number of applicants are low, so chances of admissions are also comparatively high. The next program, again related to finance, is called MS Financial Engineering, right? It's offered in quite a few colleges in the US and also in Singapore. University of California, Berkeley, Columbia, Nanyang. So these are some of the universities which have the MS in financial engineering, right? There's a slight difference between computational finance and financial engineering. Computational finance is slightly more inclined towards the programming part, right? So if you have a background of computer languages, if you come from with a background of computer science and engineering, you will probably have better chances of getting admission in the computational finance program, right? Otherwise, both the courses, in terms of career options and industry options, both of these courses are equal. Next course is engineering management. In the US or anywhere else in the world, if you want to do an MBA, to get admission in the top colleges in the world, work experience is required. In most universities, work experience is required. But if you are a bright student, let's say, and you want to get into the management domain right now, so instead of applying for MBA courses, you might probably want to apply for this program, MS Engineering Management. So what will happen is that right after a bachelor's degree, you go for a MS in engineering management degree, and after that the kind of jobs that you get are management level, first level management jobs in manufacturing industries. And after that, after 4 or 5 years, if you then want to do an MBA, your work profile or your work experience quality will look very good. So people, if there is anybody, any of you, if you don't like the bachelor's degree that you are pursuing, that too much technical stuff, I don't want to do it anymore, if you have that in mind, but at the same time, you don't want to go for an MBA directly, right? So then engineering management is like the bridge course. So engineering management, I actually recommend freshers to go for the engineering management degree, because MBA you do only once in a lifetime. Okay, I mean it's too expensive anyway. So if you, right after a bachelor's degree, if you go for an MBA degree, or if you apply directly for an MBA, what might happen is that you may not get admission in one of the best colleges. However, if you first do this MS in engineering management degree from the US, your work experience will be very good, your master's degree will be from the US, so your profile will be very good, and after 4 or 5 years, if you decide to do an MBA, your chances of getting admission in the top 10 colleges improve a lot. Moreover, because you will be earning in dollars, the MBA will then not be as expensive as it is going to be now. So another program, now MIS, nowadays a lot of people are aware of this program. It's Management Information Systems. It's called Management Information Systems or Management Information Sciences, right? So now this MIS degree is it's offered in quite a few universities across the world. In the US, universities started providing this course for almost like 9-10 years now. So it's comparatively older course, I should say. No, it's not as new as your computational finance degree, for instance, right? So MIS degrees, they prefer students with some programming experience, So you don't have to have a bachelor's degree in engineering, but if you have even some programming knowledge, if you have done some certificates in programming languages, or let's say your bachelor's degree is mechanical engineering, but you have done studied C, C++, or Java, etc., so then also you become eligible. Now what management information systems, now what does an MIS engineer do? All of you might have used you might have booked a flight ticket or a movie ticket online. Book My Show, let's take the example of Book My Show. How many of you have used Book My Show to book movie tickets? Anybody? Has anybody used? Okay, you have, right? Yeah, so in Book My Show, it's real time. If you, let's say, if you choose two seats, it's booked then and there. Nobody else will be able to book those two seats. Similarly, if you're booking a flight ticket or a railway ticket, the same logic goes. So here what is happening is that the computer science is being applied, for these businesses, right? So now Book My Show is a very small example. MIS, even if I'm sure you guys use Flipkart and Amazon also, you might have used those services also. So there, if you buy a product, then it shows that it has gone out of stock. So a real-time management is happening. So the application of computer sciences to businesses, it can be in anything. In India, you file your income tax online. Or nowadays you file for your passport online, your Aadhaar thing online. Anything that you are doing online, right? Not the internet, but any business that is being done online, any services that is being done online. So the whole technology of it, the whole knowledge of it, that comes under MIS. So MIS, you can say that it's very application oriented. So knowing computer science is different, but how to apply it to businesses, it's a totally different ball game. So and huge databases need to be managed, etc., right? So MIS engineers are highly employable. Nowadays the entire world is moving to online. So MIS, if you have a bachelor's degree in computer science, computer engineering, or EECS or EEE, or even as a part of your bachelor's degree, even if it is not directly one of these courses, but if you have some programming background, you can apply for MIS. It is a very highly employable degree. Okay, so before I go to MS Business Analytics, do you guys have any questions on the first 4 programs? I'm sure you might have heard about them, right? You might have some of you probably already know about this. Any questions on the first 4 programs? So there are PhD options in these as well. So Mayank, your question is, in these courses available in Germany? Not many of them. Germany is mainly for mean, no, these programs are not available in Germany. So Abhinav, your question is for financial engineering, what prerequisite knowledge is required? No prerequisite knowledge is required. You just need to if you are currently an engineering student, or if you have a BE degree, that's enough. These courses don't have to have any. Okay, so Tanya has a question: are any of these courses mentioned in the first 4 points meant for students with architectural background? Engineering management, you can, if you have as a part of your architecture degree, if you have done some programming courses, then you can apply for computational finance and financial engineering as well. Okay. Now, so Deepak, these also you can apply for mechanical engineering. All you can apply for all these courses. So Deepak, mechanical engineering and automotive engineering are very common programs, so I am not going to talk much about those. They are very common programs. Today we are mainly talking about the lesser known programs, right? The programs that you probably don't know about. Very highly employable programs, but not many Indian students know about. So Abhinav, your query is that for financial engineering, what type of prerequisite is required, right? So no prerequisite. You don't need any prerequisite. Okay, now let's go to the business analytics program. So now this is a very up and coming degree. This universities have started offering this program for it only in the last 2-3 years, and the job opportunities are huge. The analytics as an industry is boom. It's like it's developing, or it's increasing at a faster rate than any other industry. So analytics is a huge industry nowadays, and anybody can go for the business. I mean, if you are from a science background, see, if you are English major or history major, then you will probably not be eligible to apply for any of these courses. But if you are from science and engineering background, you are eligible to apply for business analytics courses. So business analytics, for that you need to have a pretty decent IQ, because it's all about number crunching. When you look at data, how to interpret the data, right? There will of course be different tools and all, but when you look at data, the course trains you to look for trends, to make suggestions or extrapolate the data, to read into the data and make suggestions or do forecasting. So business analytics is it requires students to have a decent level of IQ, right? Yes, Aparajito, there is a business analytics PhD option as well. Animesh, just hold on, we will do a lot of courses, so please hold on. There are a lot of courses we are going to discuss. So Ankush, MIS is instead of US, you can look at Singapore, you can look at Canada also, but other countries are not that good. Chinmay, Animesh, please hold on to your questions. Just for the time being, let's stick to the questions about the programs that are on the screen. We have not talked about a lot of programs yet. Okay. Next is MS in Integrated Marketing Communications. Now this again, anybody can. Now this is a course, anybody can apply for this course, whether you are from an engineering background or humanities background or commerce background. Anybody can apply for this course. This is all about nowadays marketing. Once upon a time, marketing used to mean only through newspapers or hoardings, which we call the offline marketing. However, nowadays the marketing, if I have to market something, we can do it through newspapers, through posters, hoardings, online. We can do it through print media. We can do it through audiovisual media. We can do it through FM channels. So now what type of communication should go? Like if I have to run an ad for, let's say, Jamboree GRE classes, Now if I have to do it in a newspaper, it will definitely have to have a different look. If I'm going to run it in a magazine, it will have to have different content. If I'm going to make an ad about it for TV, it should have a different look. If I'm going to make an ad for FM radio, it should. So that is called integrated marketing communications. How the same information, depending on the marketing channel you are communicating. So for this course, there's only one requirement, that is creativity, and you will need to be a little good with language, right? There are no tests or anything for this, right? So of course you have to write a GRE, but that's about it. Anybody can apply. You should have a inherent liking for advertisement, advertising and marketing, so that will definitely help. It is again offered in some of the very best colleges in the world. Now this program, MS in game design, some universities it is offered as MS game development, some universities it is offered as MS game programming. This is purely for computer science people, right? So if you are currently doing a bachelor's degree in computer science, instead of doing a pure master's degree in computer science, if you are interested in games, you can do this program. Nowadays, because of the mobile, tons of game apps are available. So a lot of new games are being made for different reasons, for different companies, by different companies. So the game industry is booming. It's huge nowadays, thanks to the mobile, the increase in mobile usage, right? So if you are from a computer science background, then this is one option that you can consider. Now operations research, it is again anybody with a science background can apply. You need not be an engineer. You can be from a BSc, MSc Math, or BSc, MSc in physics, chemistry, anything, any kind of science background, you can apply for operations research. Operations research is like let's say in Jamboree we have 34 centers, right? So what is the best way to make sure that all our practices are uniform throughout 34 centers? What are the best practices? How can we ensure that our GRE classes, whether it is in New Friends Colony or in Hyderabad, how do we ensure that they remain uniform? So these kind of operational challenges, that's why it's called operations research. So what the example that I'm using of Jamboree is a very, very tiny example, on a global scale. For instance, a McDonald's burger, all throughout all the outlets of India, it tastes similar. So how to ensure that? So the running of big businesses, running of multi-center or multi-city, multi-location businesses, what practices to follow. So all of that is covered under MS Operations Research. In some universities it is also called MS Operations Management, right? So that now if one skill that is required, again it is not a course or prerequisite, but one skill that you will need to have, you have to be an inherently organized person. If you are just very disorganized in everything, then you will probably not be able to do very well in this course. So one quality that you might want to check whether you have or not before applying for this course is whether you are inherently organized or not. I'm sure you know what I mean by inherently organized. So any questions on these courses that are currently on your screen? Let's not ask or talk about questions that are not on the screen currently. Any questions? For all of this, admissions requirement remains GRE, right? So the admissions requirement doesn't change. Any questions? Yes, no? Okay, Monica is asking, please explain financial engineering. I think you probably missed the beginning. So financial engineering, you student with science background and all engineering students, they can apply. They're eligible to apply. So it's good if you have some programming knowledge, but even if you don't, it's fine. So kind of jobs that you get, would be like, let's say, making financial programs. Now if you have an HDFC bank, the finance process that goes on, the programming that goes on, for the interface, so that part comes under financial engineering, but that is very small part of it. Lot of the stock exchange and BSE, NSE, the stock exchanges, they use a lot of financial modeling, financial forecasting. So all of that comes under financial engineering, and that's what the jobs are. The jobs also lie in those. Priya, your question is, please guide us for engineering management once again. Okay, you guys need to listen, okay, because if I keep on repeating, the other people will get bored. So engineering management is a bridge between an engineer and a manager, right? So if you are not interested in doing a master's degree in your current field, right, so in your current field of engineering, you can choose to do an engineering management inside. So it after doing an engineering management degree, the jobs that you get are the first level management in engineering companies, predominantly in the manufacturing industry, right? So that's engineering management. You do management work in engineering companies, so that's engineering management. Okay. Tanya, your question is, don't have any programming background, still can I pursue any of these courses? See, in this list, you can apply for MS Business Analytics. You can apply for Integrated Marketing Communication for sure. You can apply for Operations Research as well, but not the other. I mean, computational finance, financial engineering will be tough. Rajri, your question is, can game design be done by someone from EC background with a little programming knowledge? Yes. See, you have to have an interest in it, So last year we had a student, who did who was actually, I think, bachelor's degree in structural engineering or something, but he was very interested in programming. So in programming and app development, this, that, etc. So he applied and got admission for MS Game Development program. So that's fine, You need to be interested. You need to have an interest for that. And if you are interested, you will anyway be doing a lot of stuff on your own. Priya, your question is MS more technical or management? It's actually more management. MIS is more management. You will be doing you will be actually making the workflow and the thought process more than the actual programming. Suraj, if you want to go for robotics, and robotics is also a course, but it is quite common, robotics is offered both under computer science and mechanical engineering. So if your bachelor's degree is in computer science, then you should apply for robotics specialization that comes under computer science. If you are currently in if your bachelor's degree is in mechanical engineering, then you should be applying for robotics degree under that come in the mechanical engineering department of the universities. Okay, going on. So again, just to repeat, Suraj and we are not spending time on the courses that are anyway, information is available, like mechanical engineering, automotive engineering, robotics, biotech. A lot of this information is already available and people already know about it. Today we'll be talking about these lesser known master's programs which are very highly employable, and students get admission with comparatively lower GRE scores, but they're extremely highly employable. Okay, now this is again this program is called Masters in Information Assurance, offered by quite a few universities in the US. I have not seen this program in other countries. Now this course is also comparatively new, only about 4 or 5 years old, right? So, and universities added this program because of industry demand, especially in today's world. The information security is of paramount importance. In fact, because of all these instances, recent instances of hacking, etc., lot more universities are thinking of planning to add the information assurance, or information security. This course is also comes under the name of information security, right? So people with computer science background are preferred for this program, but anybody with an engineering degree with a few programming courses or even extra additional non-college certificates will also work. a very highly employable degree. In fact, we had students who, after doing the master from the US, actually got hired by Indian government also. So MS Information Assurance or MS Information Security is comparatively new, but nevertheless pretty highly employable degree. Next question is MS Engineering and MS Energy Engineering, right? So there are different variations of this course. In some universities you will find a course that is called MS Renewable Energy. In some universities you will find courses called MS Sustainable Energy. So all of it actually comes to this only, MS MS Energy Engineering. So it deals with a lot of how the best way to manage energy. Includes the calculating the carbon footprint of an industry or maybe of a whole country. All of it comes under MS Energy Engineering. Anybody I mean any math or engineering, science or engineering background student can apply, but preference is given to students with a background in it. So from India, at least I have seen students with civil engineering background apply to this program, and they have got admission as well, right? So it's again offered by the best of universities such as Stanford, UIUC, etc. The jobs that people get after this are there in the US, especially there are a lot of energy consultants. So if a company, a manufacturing unit, if they have to see whether their production unit is energy efficient or not, they will go to energy consultants, right, who will then do whatever necessary to tell them that, oh well, you can run your plant or run your factory in a more energy efficient manner, and if you put in this 1, 2, 3 things, then you will save X% in your saving. You will save X% in your electricity bill or power bill or whatever, right? So in the US there's this concept of energy consultants. So a lot of these, actually most of the people with masters in energy engineering get recruited in these energy consulting firms. The next program is MS Manufacturing Engineering. So it is a pretty pretty common degree actually. The rest of them are not that common. So manufacturing engineering is again it is not mechanical engineering, it is not metallurgical engineering. It's more about how to manufacture goods, any kind of goods, this is people with engineering backgrounds are preferred, so if you are from economics or architecture background, then this is not the course for you. So now as anything that requires a manufacturing unit. Now what can require a manufacturing unit? Anything, right? Refrigerator, electric light, fans, computers, anything that requires manufacturing, so to that they require manufacturing engineers. So manufacturing engineers, their job is to make sure that the design of the plant floor is perfect, that what are the raw materials required, what's the wastage, how to do labor calculations, so everything to run a factory basically, run a factory that manufactures goods, so you need manufacturing engineers. So some engineering knowledge is required for sure, but the course is highly focused on different manufacturing processes, quality control processes, etc. because you'll be kind of looking after a manufacturing unit, right? So it is more on the side of these things than the pure hardcore engineering part of it. So next program is called MS Supply Chain Management, right? So for this anybody can apply. Now this is one of those courses where anybody can apply, even if you are with any bachelor's degree can apply actually. So do you guys know what a supply chain is? Anybody has any idea of what a supply chain is? So anyway, I mean, while I am at it, let me answer a few questions that I see. So Spandan, you are asking, is it better to do MS in energy engineering in US or UK? I would say US. I would definitely say US. Varun, your question is, what are the jobs the manufacturing engineer gets and how well does the... So I think I already addressed this question. So then Chinmay question is, what about scope in Europe and the universities offering them? See, in the Europe, in Europe, you know, the traditional courses are offered. Most of the new courses are not offered in Europe. Mukund, your question is energy engineering GRE score. So see, I can't say that because no, it depends on the university also. I cannot say that if you will get a 320 you will get admission, you know, because you may not get admission with a 320 in Stanford, but in some other college you may. So it's a very there's no answer to this question, you know, but you will require the GRE. True. Rajashri, yes, information assurance is same as cyber security. Yes. Oh, Anusha, great. You work for supply chain management. So why don't you elaborate? Why don't you tell us about what supply chain is? Monica, there is more boom in data analytics. Priya, your question is with 5+, we should go for MS or MIS. So MS and MIS, both of them are same. So they are master's degrees. If you had asked me whether you should do master's or MBA, I would have understood, right? See, most of these courses, manufacturing engineering in Europe, you know, if you find that course in Germany, it's worth it, but otherwise it's not. Okay, now coming to the I think that, you know, supply chain management, right? So what is supply chain management? So anything that has a again, I'll give you a simple example. I'll take Jamboree's own example, right? So as a part of your GRE courses, you probably get the official guides, right? So this is one very small example just to tell you what supply chain means, right? So how it happens is that, so we coordinate with ETS, you know, we tell them that we need 10,000 GRE OGs in a year. Then ETS, then their publisher in in India is McGraw-Hill. So McGraw-Hill tells them that, oh well, Jamboree needs 10,000 books. So then McGraw-Hill comes and tells us, okay, this 10,000, do you need it in one go or how? So we'll give them that, no, in January we need this, we need this, blah blah blah. So McGraw-Hill will print the books. Then the entire 10,000 is not shipped to us, you know, at one go. There will be a, like, you know, schedule basically, right? That in the first quarter, that is in in April, May, June, they will probably give us 3,000. In the next quarter, they will give us probably 2,000. So even though they will print the 10,000, depending on the schedule that we have given them, they will ship that many books to us. Now all these official guys, they come to our New Delhi, the New Friends Colony corporate head office. We have a warehouse, so it goes to our warehouse. Now from the warehouse, you know, we get requirements from different centers depending on what their sales targets for that month is, or depending on how many students they have done in the previous year. So we have some calculations. So even though you are getting from McGraw-Hill, let's say 3,000 for the first quarter, we will divide then how to send it to our 34 centers, right? So that is one example of supply chain management, right? So Anwesha, feel free to add anything if you want to, right? So but that's a very, very tiny example of supply chain management. It's more about, again, it is an operations part, but what I'm telling you is very, very tiny, you know. Supply chain is in most of the supply chain and logistics jobs are basically, you know, they in India at least, you know, there are supply chain consultants who will kind of make that schedule for you. Then there are also hardcore supply chain engineers that probably work in merchant navy or the shipping industry. So they're hardcore engineers, and then there are also consultants, right? So depending on what you need to do, right? Okay, so right now the next program is MS in transportation engineering, right? So this is again, anybody can apply for this program. Anybody from science and engineering program can apply for this thing. Actually even architecture students can apply, right? But the chances of getting admission are not that good. Again, I'll try to explain through a simple example what transportation engineers, what they do. You guys see the traffic signals, right? This red green thing, you know, the traffic signals. So, and you will probably notice that there is a fixed time that, you know, that is for 20 seconds it's green for one side, then 20 seconds. So that is one thing that comes under transportation engineering. Now then, one bigger, that's a very tiny thing, of course. Then one bigger thing is that again, I'll give you an example. Those of you who are from Delhi, you might have seen that there is this metro line when it was going on, you know, in Delhi metro was coming up, let's say. So the transportation engineers, they decide the route, you know, they calculate the traffic requirements, which parts of the cities are mostly congested, and how to kind of how to kind of get rid of that congestion. So all of that comes under transportation engineering. In fact, something as simple as, in a city with lot of traffic, let's say, you know, the government decides to build a few flyovers, then which roads those flyovers should be built on, all those decisions are also taken by transportation engineers. But it's a very, very small example again. So transportation engineering has to do with literally transport, that's it. So people with structural engineering and civil engineering backgrounds, you know, I have seen them apply to this program and get admission, you know. So it's a very in a country like India, where the infrastructure development is pretty huge, expansion going on everywhere, there are a lot of jobs. And even in so even if after your master's degree, if you want to come back to India, also there are a lot of jobs, you know, for this particular field, purely because it is not offered in India. Varun, your question is the supply chain engineering more valuable than other instrumentation engineering courses? I don't know what you mean by valuable. And supply chain engineering is not an instrumentation engineering course. Okay, now this is MS HCI. HCI is human computer interaction. Any computer science engineers here? Anybody who is studying bachelor's in computer science? Anybody in who is studying bachelor's in computer science? Okay, so you might have, do you guys have HCI courses? Do you guys have HCI courses, human computer interaction courses? Right, so you already know, right? There's a little bit of artificial intelligence in it also, there's a little bit of algorithm in it also. So it's more about, you know, like again, I'll give you a very simple example just for you to understand where HCI comes into you know, picture. Websites, you know, interface. So in your like, if you're a Jamboree student, you probably have access to the Jamboree's online testing portal, right? So we do a lot of data collection on that to keep on changing the UI, the user interface of it, right? So that is one example where, you know, HCI, you know, comes into a very, very small example, of course. But there are other things also, like you know, this Apple, they keep on coming up with these new phones, and they keep on, like, you know, this Siri, this, that, all of those are your HCI basically, you know. So a little bit of artificial intelligence plus algorithm and a lot of other things as well. So HCI is again a branch of, you know, computer science. So those of you who want to not do everything of computer science, you know, if you want to specialize in HCI, then there are the special HCI programs, again highly employable. There are very few HCI, MS HCI programs in the world, right? Not many people know about those, right? So in Carnegie Mellon, for instance, or in Georgia Tech, for instance, if you apply for their MS computer science, there are a lot of applicants that you have to compete against. But if you apply for MS HCI, there are not that many applicants, purely because not many students know about this course. So these are the advantages of these, you know, these lesser known programs. So any questions on these 6 programs on the screen? Any questions on these? Next is, you know, MS Nuclear Engineering. So nuclear energy, this is also, sometimes it comes under the energy department of universities, because it is a sub category of, you know, energy engineering. So nuclear engineering is offered again by quite a lot of universities in the US, because nuclear energy is big, you know, the different nuclear engineering does not mean making atom bombs, by the way. Nuclear engineering means how to harness the nuclear energy, how to use it, how to use it for towards clean energy, etc., etc. So this is a segment of energy engineering itself, but specific to nuclear engineering. You guys probably know, right? Fusion and fission, right? So nuclear fusion, nuclear fission. So nuclear fission is what is used to get the nuclear energy, right? So then nuclear energy engineering involves making plans and making floor plans, and even doing calculations for nuclear reactors to run a if a nuclear reactor is supposed to generate this much power, then how much uranium will be, all the calculations, or all of that. The whole thing comes under nuclear engineering. It's one of the clean energy initiatives that the whole world is practicing nowadays. Even in India, there are a lot of jobs for this. There's another program called MS Petroleum Engineering. So nowadays, even in India, I mean, there's this one university in Dehradun at UPES. They have the petroleum engineering program, but in India we do not have that much petroleum, right? So there are not many jobs for petroleum engineers. But in the US, there are tons of petroleum engineers, major oil companies, they're located out of the US. Petroleum engineers, they get jobs all over the world, from the Middle East countries to petroleum heavy South American countries like Venezuela, this, that. So the students are recruited from American universities and placed all over the world, because these oil companies, they have operations all across the world. So very highly lucrative career. So the name is, I think, sufficient. I don't need to elaborate what petroleum engineers do, right? So and there US quite a lot of universities have petroleum engineering courses. Anybody with engineering background, any engineering background students can apply for petroleum engineering. Architecture students can't, of course. So if you are interested in if you're not that particular about whatever you are doing your bachelor's degree in, then petroleum engineering is one degree that you should apply for. The jobs are good, salaries are high, it's a lot of travel oriented, of course, and it's offered by quite a lot of universities. The GRE scores required are like comparatively lower. Let's say in University of Texas Austin, to get into computer science, if you need a 328, to get into petroleum engineering you will probably need a 320. So petroleum engineering is a great option. Most Indian students, they are not aware of this program, so they don't apply, right? Then there is MS Data Science. It's very similar to business analytics, but data science deals more with the tools that are used to do analytics, data analytics. So that's a difference. So data science deals with the tools that business analyst students use. So data science is again it's actually far more difficult and far serious field. There are PhD data science programs as well. You have to have a knack for numbers, and you have to have high IQ, but they are paid extremely highly. Data science specialists, if you do a PhD in data analytics, or PhD in data science, or PhD in operations research, you get your salaries are through the roof. So it's extremely employable and extremely highly paid course, right? Any questions still here? I see Kaushik is asking, does HCI also incorporate machine learning? Yes, to some extent. Machine learning also uses the same principle of artificial intelligence. So if you take that as the overlapping factor, then yes. Suraj, your question is, are these courses available in only specific universities? Yes, these courses are available in limited universities. So for every course you will probably find only about 10 to 15 universities that offer these courses, unlike your computer science, electrical engineering, where like thousands of colleges offer that, right? But these courses are offered by limited 15 to 20 universities. Shashwat, your question is, my background is electrical engineering, what is change? Yeah, you can apply for HCI, but you should have a, I'm sure as part of electrical also you probably do some programming courses and all. Oprajita, your question is, I'm a senior professional with 17 years of experience working presently as business head out of Dubai. Long question. Want to do PhD in quantitative marketing, doing data science specialization from Johns Hopkins. Oh, you're already doing it. So is it through Coursera? It might be through Coursera, right? Please suggest me what will be bolster my candidacy to get into what GRE is. Okay, it's like very specific, you know. Prajito, I would recommend that you write to us, you know. Way too specific. Your question is way too specific. So, you know, okay, Mayank, your question is, what is the scope of scholarship in MS nuclear engineering? The scholarship depends on the university, so it does not depend on the program, right? Anusha, your question is, you are a BSc graduate, so that means you have a 15 years degree, right? So that might be a challenge in some universities. We'll have to look specifically into that. It's not a program. The program is not a problem. You can definitely apply for data science. Only thing is that most US universities do not accept the 3-year bachelor's degree, you know, so that might be a challenge. Srijan, your question is there a good scope for MIM, and which country, US or Canada? MIM is a management course, right? Or you want MIS or MIM? MIM is Masters in Management. Masters in Management courses, right? Okay, I mean, you can apply it. I mean, Canada, there are only 4 or 5 colleges, but the opportunities there are as good as in the US, right? Okay, Rahul, your again question is very vague. It's that what GRE score is required to get a good university for doing MS in data science. Now, what would you define as a good university? If you want to get admission in Columbia, you have to target a 325 plus. If you want to get admission in NYU, you have to target a 325 plus. So, but there are also other colleges that offer data science programs where you can get admission with 318, 320 as well. Yes, Anvesha, your 12 years of work experience will definitely help, you know. Himanshu, for energy management or energy engineering courses, work experience is not required. Some of them may have work experience requirement, but most of them do not have. Business analytics courses, a lot of business analytics courses have the work experience requirement. Some of them need up to 5 years of work experience, but that is for business analytics programs. Hemant, your question is, I am MTech in thermal engineering, I'm assuming. Then which course I should prefer for PhD? I can't answer that for you, you know. I can't answer that for you. You can do in PhD in whatever is relevant to thermal, or in this list probably your you know, energy engineering, environmental engineering, or you know, nuclear. I'm not sure about that. I can't answer that correctly. Okay, so there is also this this is a last program in our list, MS Social Media Management or Marketing, right? Now again, all of you use, most of you at least I'm sure use Facebook. Then there is this Twitter, LinkedIn, blah blah blah. All of them are social media. All of them together are called social media, right? And social media has become a huge marketing tool, subtle marketing tool. You know, you like, if you companies, they work on their image, you know, through social media. So social media and management in over the last decade has emerged as a very strong marketing tool. And in the last 3-4 years, universities are responding to that, you know, and they are offering these specific courses, MS Social Media Management or MS Social Media Marketing. So again, anybody can apply to these programs. You don't need to have a special background in this, but if you need a special interest, of course, but you don't need to have a background in this. In addition to these, now these are the courses that are like, you know, that a lot of Indian students, you know, they have found good careers in, our own students, so that's good. But in addition to this, there are also some newer programs such as MS in digital marketing, right? This is purely to do the online marketing of companies. Now anybody can apply for those programs. You don't have to have a background in anything in that. In case you are not interested in continuing in whatever bachelor's degree that you are doing, so these are the courses we discussed today are some good options for doing that. So any questions? So I mean, I'm done with whatever information I have to give. So otherwise I'm done, you know. So I think somebody had asked a very special. Okay, Aparajito, I think you had asked a very specific question. So you might want to just send that question to us at this on this email ID. So anybody else, if you have any very profile specific questions, you can ask here. So I'm done with whatever information I have to give. So I can, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to address them. Those of you who do not have any questions, you know, please feel free to log out. If you don't have any questions, then please feel free to log out. Monica has this question, can you please name some colleges offering good number of scholarships for data science? So all the colleges, they offer scholarships. All the programs for data science, or they offer scholarships. How much is totally will depend on your profile. Tanya, some architecture, some courses related to architecture that architecture students go for are masters in construction management, masters in urban design, masters in landscape architecture. So these are 3 programs that Indian students, you know, or I have seen students go for, you know, in architecture students go for. Maulik Wala, okay, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. So your question is about related to biology field. So in biology field, there are courses such as, you know, biological engineering, bioengineering, biotech courses, of course, bioinformation, bioinstrumentation. So these are some courses related to biology field. Animesh, your question is PhD in environmental engineering, what are its eligibility and how much GRE score? Please don't ask me about what is the GRE score and for good college, because it will totally depend on on your profile, you know, everything. So please don't ask me what's a good score is, right? You should try to get as high a score as possible. That's my standard answer, you know. PhD environmental engineering, again, it's the eligibility is that you need to be from any science or engineering background. So Maulik, even biology background students are eligible to apply for environmental engineering or energy engineering programs, by the way. So environmental engineering, you need to be from any science related field. That's it. Engineering will do biology, physics, chemistry, any kind of science will also do. So Abhinav, your question is, where can I check the college deadlines of the courses mentioned? Just check on Google, I should say. I have given you some college names. You can check the deadlines on Google, but the deadlines are not updated yet. So the deadlines for fall 2018, they will start appearing from August onwards. Right now the information is not available. Rajshri, your question is, which email can I request? Okay. Same, Rajshri. So if you need the recording of the first session, you need to send a email to this ID. Oh, for spring, then I suggest you go to Google and search for those. If you are already an admissions counseling student, are you enrolled for admissions counseling? If you are enrolled for admissions counseling, then you can ask your counselor for all the necessary information. Hemant, I'm not able to understand your question. So, you know, Priya, your question is, among MIM and MIS, which course has better scope in terms of employment and package? MIS. MIS is far more employable than MIM. MIM is very generic, actually, you know. They would rather hire an MBA. So MIM is a little generic. So MIS is, you know, better. Varun, your question is, can you tell me about some colleges which offer MS Automation Engineering in US and Germany? So in US, there is University of Michigan, there is Kettering University, Auburn University, they offer, and in Germany, most of the TU9 colleges offer. Germany is pretty big in automotive engineering, so most of the TU9 universities will they offer they offer MS in automation engineering. Himanshu, your question is, are there good energy related courses in Germany as well? Not that good. Shashwat, your question is, what are off-grid programs that Indian electrical students apply, which are quite paying in India? All of these programs, most of the that I talked to you about, you know, I've seen Indian students apply for them. with electrical background, yes. Courses for applying to CBI, you mean Central Bureau of Investigation? You know, actually, if you are seriously interested, you know, there are cyber security program or information assurance program is good. Then there is also a masters in forensic science, you know, in case you want to get into that. Animesh, your question is, environmental engineering is work as a separate department or under civil? Some universities is separate department, but most of the universities comes under civil engineering. You are right. Priya, good MIs. I think I already presented some, but there are tons of it. You know, University of Illinois, Springfield, University of Arizona, Indiana University, Kelly. You know, so they are good programs. Carnegie Mellon is good. You know, Texas A&M, tons of good colleges. In most of the universities, the MIS program is offered under the business school of the university. So that's another advantage. MEM will be hired or MBS? I mean, is it worth doing an MBM right now? Yes, see, engineering manufacturing companies, they prefer to hire engineering management graduates for the first level of jobs instead of MBAs, because MBA salaries are far higher than MEM. So they don't want to spend on MBA, right? So the first couple of levels of management, they try to hire MEM for those. That's why the engineering management, you know, the jobs are quite good. So this, I'll just go over the slides again. So these are the first, these were the programs on the first slide. Animesh, your question is, which is better, US or Germany for environmental engineering? I would say US, purely because not many German universities have that program. Even if they have, it is probably not taught in English. Right, so this is the next. These are the courses. These were the courses in the next slide. So again, I think I think I'm done, and I'm. If you, those of you who don't have any questions, you know, feel free to log out.